Welcome back, students. Welcome to biology classes. Today we are going to see 11th science biology, and we are going to see the chapter number 21, that is neural control and coordination. So first we are going to see the basic introduction of this, and then we will shift to the main topics of this chapter. So let's start with today's lecture. The coordination is the process through which two or more organs interact and complement the function of each other. So, what exactly is coordination? So, we are going to see about this two neural control and coordination. So, before going to see the main topics, we need to understand that what exactly neural control is as well as what is coordination, right? So the coordination is what? It is the process through which two or more organs, right? They are interacting with each other and they are functioning with each other, right? That is known as coordination. So the process through which two or more organs interact and complement the function of each other, that is known as coordination. Neural system provides an organized network of point-to-point connection for quick coordination, right? See, there are two systems in your body which is doing the coordination, right? The first is the neural system and the second is the endocrine system. So the neural system provides what? It provides an organized network of point to point connection for quick coordination. So neural system, it is going to do the quick coordination with the help of the neurons which are connected in the network, right? The second is the endocrine system, and it provides what? The chemical integration through hormones, right? So the endocrine system works with the hormones and the neural system works with the neurons, right? Neural system of animals is composed of specialized cells called neuron, which can detect, receive and transmit different kinds of stimuli, right? Now, when we're talking about the neural system is made up of, or we can say it is composed of specialized cells, which is known as neuron, right? And these neurons have the ability to detect the stimuli as well as it can receive the stimuli, or it can also transmit the stimuli. So the detection, receiving and transmission of the different kinds of stimuli can be done with the help of the specialized cells which are known as neuron, right? Now in hydra, neural system is composed of network of neurons. So the example over here is given of hydra. Hydra is a organism, and it is going to contain what? A network of neuron through which the whole neural system is working, right? Same way in insects, it consists of brain and a number of ganglia. So when we are talking about the different types of insects, the insects does possess the brain as well as, right, there is presence of several ganglia, that is the network of the neurons, right? And the vertebrates have highly developed neural system, and those that are we and some another animals too, right? So in different types of animals, different types of neural systems is observed. Now we are going to see about the CNS, that is the central nervous system, right? And this is going to include what? Brain and spinal cord, right? So mainly the human nervous system is divided into two equal parts, right? The first is the central nervous system and the second one is the peripheral nervous system. So first we are going to see that what exactly the central nervous system consists of. So the central nervous system includes brain and spinal cord, while the peripheral nervous system includes the nerves which are associated with the central nervous system, right? So the nerves which are responsible for passing the messages from the central nervous system to different types of organs, that is being controlled with the help of the peripheral nervous system, right? So, the central nervous system is also said to be the site for information processing and control. So, whatever information is being taken from the different parts of your body or from the site of the injury or any other senses, right? So it is going to get, or it is going to give the information to the CNS, as well as the controlling over that situation is also being controlled by the CNS, right? And the peripheral nervous system is it includes the nerves which are associated with the CNS, and there are two types of nerve fibers, right? That is afferent fibers and second is efferent fibers, right? So afferent fibers, that is going to transmit the impulses from tissue or organ to CNS. So the nerve or the fiber which is responsible for transmitting the impulses from the tissue or the organ to the central nervous system, that is the afferent fibers. And second is efferent fibers. Those are going to do the transmission of the regulatory impulses from the CNS to concerned peripheral organs, right? So this is the difference between these two of them. Next is somatic neural systems, which relay impulses from CNS to skeletal muscles, right? Now, there is also presence of a somatic neural system, and this is going to relay impulses from CNS, that is, for allowing several different kinds of movements of your body, right? The central nervous system sends different kinds of impulses to the skeletal muscles, and this leads to the different types of movements in your body. Then there is autonomic neural system, which is going to transmit the impulses from CNS to involuntary system and smooth muscles, right? Now, see, there is presence of two types of main movements, right? Voluntary movements and involuntary movements. Voluntary movements means those type of movements in which there is control, your control is there over your body, right? So those type, that is, if you can lift your hand, right? So uh, upon your thing, or we can say you can control your different types of movement, that is walking, reading, writing, running, right? But the beating of the heart, all right, then the contraction of the urinary bladder, this cannot be controlled by you, by your own self, right? Your body is controlling how, with the help of the CNS, that is central nervous system, right? So the autonomic neural system, it transmits the new impulses from CNS, that is from the brain, to different involuntary systems, that is those systems which are not in your control, right? Along with the involuntary system, it also passes the impulses to smooth muscles, right? So with the help of the CNS, or we can say the controlling of the brain, different kind of involuntary movements are also being controlled, right? So the peripheral nervous system is divided into two parts: automatic neural system and second is somatic neural system. And this automatic neural system is further divided into two parts, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic, right? Sympathetic is responsible for increasing the pressure of the blood gradient, and the parasympathetic, it again comes back to its normal state, right? So this is about the first basic introductory part of this chapter, and now we are going to see the neuron as structural and functional unit of neural system, right? So neuron is made up of three major parts, right? So there is presence of three major parts in the neuron, right? And that is cell body, dendrite, and the axon. You can see this figure. This is the cell body, the blue colored portion, right? This is the outer portion of this is the cell body, the whole where I'm showing the cursor, right? This blue colored small ball like structure, that is the nucleus, right? So this is the cell body, and there is like there is presence of small fibers, right? The small fibers are dendrites, and a long fiber is known as axon, right? So the three main body parts of the neuron is cell body, dendrite, and the axon, right? Now cell body contains cytoplasm, cell organelles and Nissls granules, right? So the cell body is going to contain what? The cytoplasm, cell organelles as well as the Nissls granules. There is presence of short fibers which are projecting out from the cell body, and those are known as dendrites. So if the short fibers are arising out of the cell body, then it is known as dendrite, and the long fibers are known as axon, right? Now we are going to see about the axon, right? So the axon is a long fiber which is having branched structure at the end that terminates into knob-like structure called synaptic knob. So you can see over here at the last, this is the whole portion which is said to be the axon, right? And the ending of this axon, this is known as the synaptic knob, right? Why it is known as synaptic knob? Because you can see over here this bulb like structures, right, the knob like structures, right, and this region, as this region is said to be synapse, right, the distance between or the gap or the space between the two neurons is known as synapse, right? And as there is presence of these knobs in this area, for this reason it is known as synaptic knobs, right? Now, based on number of axon and dendrites, the neurons are of three types. So neurons are also divided in three different types, right? So three types of neurons are observed, but these three types are being divided on the basis of the number of axons and the dendrites, right? First is multipolar, second is bipolar, and the third one is unipolar, right? So multipolar, that is, it is going to have one axon and two or more dendrites, right? So when one axon and more dendrites are present, then it is known as multipolar, right? And bipolar, only one axon is present and only one dendrite is present, right? The example of it is retina of eyes. So retina of eyes, the axons are the neuron is having only one axon, and along with that only one dendrite is present. And the third is unipolar, that is the cell body with only one axon is found, that is found in the example we can say the embryonic stage, right? So multipolar, that is going to have one axon with many dendrites, right? Bipolar, that is going to contain one axon with one dendrite. And the third is unipolar, that is going to contain only and only the axon, right? So these are the three different types of the neurons which are found in your body, right? This is the figure which is one of the most important figure you need to study, right? So these are the dendrites. This is a cell body. It is going to contain a nucleus, as well as there is presence of this red colored granules which are known as Nissls granules, right? And there is presence of squamch cells around the axon filament, right? This is the axon, and this squamch cells combine with each other, and there is presence of a protective covering upon it which is known as the myelin sheath, right? And the space between these two squamch cell is known as the node of Ranvier. And this are the, as there is the terminating part of the axon, it is known as axon terminal, right? Now, there are two types of axons, right? And myelinated and unmyelinated, right? That is, the fibers are enveloped with squamch cells to form myelin sheath around the axon, right? So when there is presence of myelin sheath around the axon, that type of axon is known as myelinated axon, right? And the gap between the two myelin sheath is known as the node of Ranvier, right? And this is mostly found in the spinal nerves as well as the cranial nerves, right? And the second type of the axon is unmyelinated axon, and here the fiber is enclosed by squamch cells that does not form any of the myelin sheath around the axon. So as here the myelin sheath is absent, for this reason this type of axon is known as unmyelinated axon. And the example we can see is it is found in autonomous nervous system as well as the somatic nervous system, right? So these are the two main types of axons, myelinated and unmyelinated. Myelinated means it is having the myelin sheath. Unmyelinated means it is not having the myelin sheath. So here we complete today's lecture. I hope you are very clear with today's topic, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.